Hey Anna, or Anna, maybe is more correct, as your profile states that you are in Stockholm or Göteborg. But now I forgot that part, but you forgot my name, so we're even. Zevali. Thank you for your video. It was a pleasure to watch. Not so much a pleasure to listen to because the sound was really awful. But anyway, I listened to it a couple of times. I think about 4 or 5 times to try and get and hear what you were actually saying. I think there were 2 things. One was a request for a video. Thanks. I love that. Thank you for asking. I happily oblige. And the other thing, but that may have been just to tickle my my urge to make a video, is that you were making some points on religion. And fair enough, you just stated that you're not an atheist, but you kind of mix and match, and that's fine. I think you're not the only one. There's some biblical literalists, but most of them do some cherry picking of the verses that they want to use, and I would hope that everyone would do that. Of course, people with the Quran is a bit more strict, but there's a lot of cherry picking going on there too. And Arabic, in the end, is a language that's open to interpretation. So everyone can very much interpret what they want to get about that. So anyway, here is the video response, and now on to the meat of the subject. Religion helpful because it gives hope to 80% of the world's population, which are very poor. Yeah, it may bring hope. I'm willing to concede that. I think there's some truth in that, and I'll even admit that there are some studies which have indicated that religious people are more happy, but some studies, right? Some others will. But anyway, beside the point. Religion brings some hope. Yeah, okay, that's true. One of my favorite authors and a fantastic speaker, Christopher Hitchens, has a challenge. And the challenge is, name me one thing that can be achieved by a religious person which cannot be achieved by a secular person. And as far as I know, that challenge is still standing. So the hope may be true, but religion also comes with a lot of baggage. And one part of that baggage is superstition. And the superstition part, especially in countries like Africa, is a bad thing, because a lot of those countries which you were talking about also have a massive problem which is called AIDS, and superstition will get the witch doctors there to tell to young men who have AIDS that if they have sex with a virgin, that then their AIDS problem will be gone. Well, we both know that that's just going to make the problem a lot bigger. And then the Catholics come along with the Pope, and they may cast aside that problem, but they introduce a new problem, which is that condoms don't help for AIDS, and the people there shouldn't use them. Yeah, well, come on, that's hardly any help for people who are already desperate, right? Just it may be a solution to the problem, but not the solution that we are both thinking of. Then there is another problem with religion, and that's the kind of passiveness that comes from it. Just pray to God and hope that everything is going to be all right. Yeah, well, hoping is nice, but what is a lot nicer and better is to actually work and get the problem fixed. And that is something that can be done by any means, and religion is, I think, just distracting from that. So instead of building a church or praying in a church or whatever, I think it would be better if they would go out and dig a water well, or work the field, or learn agriculture. Knowledge, in my opinion, is much more valuable than just the hope and the passiveness of let's hope that everything will be okay, because we both know that things will not be okay. Well, at least if we look down there, it's not helping a lot, right? So in that respect, I don't think that it's bringing anything real to the table. It's not bringing anything good. Yeah, the hope is good, but it's not solving any problems. It gives hope, but it's going to be the same old the same old thing. And finally, you mentioned that religion it exists, and a lot of people are religious, and therefore there has to be something good to it. Well, I can name a lot of things that exist and that a lot of people do, or well, follow is a big word. Just to take one, discrimination. It exists, and a lot of people discriminate. So, right, that doesn't make it a good thing by default. No, a thing should have a merit on its own, and that should not be dependent on how many people are for it or against it. A thing should be judged by the value it brings, and I think one of the biggest things for religion would be that it's a nice social structure, a nice get-togethers, and you meeting people, but it's not actually religion which is needed for that, right? Those type of things can be met by other means, and that way we can leave behind the superstition and the bad things that religion brings. Sure, but I'm right, religion can bring good things, but there's this baggage that comes along with it, and the baggage is not necessary. So we need to take Occam's razor and cut off the baggage and work towards progress, actual progress. And well, that's my opinion on it. It's I am an atheist. I am a weak atheist with respect to God, as in the deist God or Spinoza's God. I am a strong atheist with respect to some definitions that people will bring with respect to God. As soon as they start attributing qualities to that God, then it's usually pretty easy to point out some conflicts, or at least I don't see any reason to believe the claim. It's, you know, a claim needs to be relative to the evidence needs to be relative to the claim. As Carl Sagan said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And if I tell you I own a dog, then you might believe me right off the bat. But if I tell you I have because you know dogs exist, and yeah, I got this from Matt Dillahunty, the connoisseurs will know. You know dogs exist, and you know people have them as pets all the time, so it's not a big deal. If I tell you I have a leopard tank, you know, a tank from the army, then you don't know that people own tanks, and you probably won't believe me until I send you the manual or something, you know. Christopher Hitchens, again, he also made another great, I'll quote him again, another great quote. That which can be asserted without evidence can also be dismissed without evidence. And well, combine Sagan and Hitchens, and there would be my reason for not accepting the God claim, because the God claim is the biggest claim there is. And if you don't have any actual, no, I don't mean you, because you're more on the deist side, if I get you right, but if the religious who claim to know the mind of God, but in other instances say that the mind of God is unknowable, I'm like, what are you talking about? Anyway, this was my rant on religion with respect to help in the third world. I don't think it's helpful, but I think you already got that from the video. This is it for now. This is also a test of my new setup. So I hope that the sound is good and that the picture is even better. Okay. Cheers. Bye. And stop.